In fact, what a good that was. For God's sake. Now, I know you're in the base, but being infantry, you're supposed to get 25% boost. And that wasn't terribly successful, they're almost dead. Ugh. You upgrade, yeah, 30 energy credits, bargain.
Enemy project initiated.
The Spartans are building the merchant exchange, basically like the Colossus. See, not only are sort of the same civ concepts there, but also basically the same civ wonders, but just with different names attached to make it sound futuristic and modern. The merchant exchange, with its +1 commerce per square, is of course the old school Colossus. The Human Genome Project is toned down Hanging Gardens, and Weather Paradigm is like Hagia Sophia from Civ 4, which is a bit of a surprise.
And the revolutionary leap of genius, which redefines and transcends those boundaries. Acknowledging our debt to the former, we yearn nonetheless for the latter. Academician Prokhor Zakharov.
Thank you, Prokhor Zakharov. This should be good. We've now got some decent guns to fire upon these damn Gaians. What was I talking about? Where was I? Oh yeah, wonders. Okay, it's somewhat unfair to stop researching military now that we've got big guns. It's unfair of me to accuse them of just copying the same ideas. Ooh, that's not a bargain. That's not a bargain. Build a prototype. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to find the equivalent of ascetic values or the cloning vats in any of the other Civ games. And as I'll find out later on in this episode, this was the first Civilization type game to experiment with civics as opposed to all-out government. Now we're talking impact squads. Oh, that's much better than lasers. Well, I don't know, what is an impact laser? If you know, mail me your answers. Oh, recycling tanks. More bloody recycling tanks. I don't even need the food. It's not a very Morgan thing to do to recycle. More like just to use up all the resources and throw it all away. I'm ready for the big push now. One big push. One by oh, that's not too bad. Yeah, it's just fungus up there. I know this map is. No, he's gone. And another one. He's got a chance to survive. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed here. How much is that? 40. That's not so much as a bargain as 30 is, on account of the fact it's 10 more. But I'll take it. Right, here we go. But that's really disappointing. Oh, I've spent good money on these. That's 50 energy credits. That's not a bargain at all. My friends, the spore launchers. My friends, the Gaians. That's quite a good attack, really. They realise that I've got no defensive capabilities. The one unit that did have 2 defence and since the metal armour got killed in the first failed assault. The one that I said, that's not very good. So yeah, they put up quite a staunch resistance, and I don't think I actually learned from a lesson. Now, why is that so difficult? It's a chopper. It's a scout chopper. It's basically just on the ground. It's grounded out of fuel. Nine to 8. That's not good. And that reflects that. I suppose I came to expect that. And spore launcher. Fortunately, that's got no health left. It doesn't do anything. It's just a distraction. Stops it healing, perhaps. See, there's a scout before, and that's the infantry. One of the things I don't get about this game is that why is it when you've got better weapons but poor armour, you're still just as vulnerable to something that's... Oh, yeah, the game messes up a bit here. So, I'll just tell you what happens. So this part of the recording essentially turns into a radio broadcast, where they attack me and they knock down my brand new impact laser infantry down to its very last hit point, but get damaged in the process. It was a pretty, knuckle down fight that I won, and so yeah, it came to the last round. It was if I had to push forward. If I didn't push forward and take this, I wouldn't be able to take it because everything else was damaged. Of course, all the rovers were broken, and I had no men left and none left in production. So it was a pretty tight battle. I think it was about 8 to 7 odds, if I remember it. And it was a case of I had no health left, they had no health left, and it just so happened that I managed to kill them first, and I took the city. Sorry that it wasn't in the recording, but there's a devil of a job trying to get this to work, and the fates have just conspired against me. No recording equipment seems to work well, and I keep having to flicker in and out of being able to show the cursor. And yeah, it just had an error recording that bit, and every time I try to play it back, it crashes Windows Media Player, it crashes the video editing software, and it almost crashed the Audacity, which of course I'm recording this on. So thank you for bearing with me. I don't think there's any more major mishaps, certainly none as bad as that, but yeah, it's pretty traumatic. Anyway, where was I? So we didn't miss anything important apart from Lady Deirdre didn't actually capture and interrogate. She managed to escape, Lady Deirdre of Skye, and she's somewhere and hates me for it. Probably somewhere in some fungusy region, out of the way. But I don't mind. It's not Gaia's Landing's not a bad city. I can see from here. It's a size 3, good production potential, next to the sea. I'll get some kelp going there. Oh, it's fully recovered now. That's the useful thing about monoliths. Not only are they good to more colony pods, lovely. Not only are they good for resources next to the city, they upgrade your units if they've not been upgraded by a monolith already. They also heal your units every time they go in there, but if you use them too often, they do disappear. What do we do with this one? Do we go past the Straits of Prometheus? Whereas earlier on I was complaining about this sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Pretentiousness. That's the one, pretentiousness. I thought, well, no, it's just pleasant, really. It's better than naming it just the Straits, I suppose, or the Straits of Morgan, the Straits of Mindworm, Spore Launcher. Yeah, Straits of Prometheus sound quite nice. The second star, because of course Alpha Centauri is in the binary star system, which of course everybody knew. Morgan Construction. That's not got much minerals anyway. Either, yeah. Morgan Mines, Morgan Construction. Actually, to be fair, there's some rocky patches near Morgan Construction that could get 4 minerals out of, so it's not as bad. Still doesn't look very prosperous though. Yeah, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, because it's a binary star system. Once every 20 years in 100, so 80 years of sort of normal, and 20 years of this. Here we go. Hercules, Alpha Centauri B, because it's got Alpha Centauri A now. I don't know what Alpha Centauri A is called. Probably just Alpha Centauri. And then Hercules, which is again a nice bit of classical touch. Look out! That's like, we've got to be elite, I think, or at least a commando. Every 20 years or so it reaches perihelion, which is a great phrase. I used it in a pub quiz once. It wasn't the right answer, but it's certainly an impressive one. And of course, our native life form, which I'm already having a bit of trouble with, and it's really quite upsetting me, gets worse for the next 20 years. And if I was...
He held his arm too stiffly, and so was thrown back repeatedly, until at last I seized his forearm and snapped it back against itself. His training suffered while the arm healed, of course, but I felt this was a lesson he must learn early, and well. Spartan Kell.
I don't know who Spartan Kell is. It's an interesting quote. yeah, it doesn't sound very pleasant, snapping an arm against itself just because it's a bit stiff. It does sound a bit like, what's that proverb? Sledgehammer to crack a walnut, that's the one. Sledgehammer to crack a walnut. But what it does mean is that I can build ships and go exploring that way. So that'll be fun. And also I can, unlike all other Civ games, you can, apart from Civ 4,
Request confirmation.
you can improve the water tiles. And Civ 4 is a kind of, you can collect resources from fish and clams and crabs.
Request confirmation.
Crabs. But what you can do here is actually properly improve. You can build kelp farms and tidal harnesses and mining platforms in the ocean to make them actually really quite productive, which I think I now go on a binge of building seaformers for the next part of the game. See, that's a damning indictment of just how bad the Morganites are against Planet. That scout, that rover there, is a commando, the equivalent of a really elite unit, and of course in PSI combat, morale is everything. So all armour and weapons are ignored, and it's basically man against worm, and whoever's got the highest upgrades, I suppose you'd call them, whoever's got the highest, who's most elite, wins. And that's the Morgans without adopting the free market. The free market makes it even worse. There's a 30% penalty against all PSI combat, both attack and defence. So Planet really becomes a nuisance, but you do make a lot of money. Oh yeah, you get drones for going on, unhappy people for starting wars and going outside of your territory. And of course, it carries on from this old Civ 2 and democracy kind of thing, but this of course is the first Civ game that has the concept of territory, and does it very well. There's a lot of concepts that this game brought in, as Alpha Centauri brought in, that were then used in subsequent releases, and either perfected or not, in the case of Civ 4 and Civics. And I think there's like social engineering in this game, which we'll get onto, I promise. Merchant exchange. Now this is, do I want it? Yes I do, I'm building it, so I do what the Morgans do best, and just buy it. Yeah, back in the days when you could buy wonders. And yeah, at social engineering this is far better, so it gives you a second warning, and there we go. And if you were expecting some kind of wonder movie, I'm afraid you're going to be sorely disappointed, because it's hard enough getting this to record in the first place, let alone trying to record videos. I did try it, and it made the screen go all funny, like really funny. So yeah, it's ideal. I don't think they're going to get the weather paradigm either, because I like it, and I've got the money to buy it, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, I was going to say it's an ideal wonder for the Morganites, because it gives you 1+1 energy in every square in the base. And I realised that's a bit of a lie really. It's perfectly good for any what am I doing? I don't know. One of the disadvantages of doing sort of... Oh yeah, here we go. Social engineering. I can't do much at the moment. What I can do is go into free market economy. Basically, you pick sort of different sort of politics, economics, values, future society. It'll look a lot clearer once I've discovered a few more texts. But the trouble with the free market, which is what I should be going into as an organiser, is yes, it gives you +1 energy per square, basically a merchant exchange in every city, and +1 commerce rating. So once I finally met somebody that I haven't declared war on, I get money from knowing them. The trouble is, it makes make people unhappy by taking people outside of their territory, and yeah, planet rating